Welcome to part 19 of the Ratchet and Clank Let's Play. So, now that we are done with planet Ultanis, this aka the Ratchet only level, we have to head to our next planet of the game. And this may come off as very familiar since we've seen this planet at the very beginning of the game, like as early as the first few cutscenes. Because we are now heading to planet Quartu. And since we're going to planet Quartu, meaning that we're getting close to the end of the game, this also means that we're actually going to be having another cutscene coming up. So, enjoy.
Well, I guess Quark didn't eliminate them.
How observant of you.
Thank you, sir.
Now, if you were only so diligent in doing your own job.
Yes, sir.
Since our new planet is nearly finished, we need a plan to remove the world that is occupying our selected orbit. This time, it must be absolutely foolproof. Time is wasting.
Yeah. Well, still, cutscene's a cutscene. Still gotta zip it. If that's the case when it comes to cutscene. Anyway, now we are on planet Quartu. Again, this may come off as familiar since we've seen this in the first few cutscenes of the game. Even like that. Assuming I mean, this factory looks familiar. That little tube thing is come out. Okay, yeah, it's pretty obvious. As we are on Clank's home planet, well, technically home planet because this is where he was made. But in terms of the factory portion, we're not going to be going in there just yet. Yeah, but we're going to be doing some of the other stuff first, like this little water segment, and where the hydro pack gets some really good use. Where we have to swim through these rings. No. This isn't Superman 64. This isn't Superman 64. If I were to do that game ever again, it's probably going to be for charity. Other than that, no. I'm not doing it. Again. So from this point on though, we hit a button, right? And the reason why we hit a button is to turn off the electricity. And as you may notice that we are on a time limit. If we don't make it through this segment in under, I think, a minute, the water will be electric. The water will become electrified, and you will die instantly. Or if you don't die instantly, you'll at least die very quickly, especially if you're at this point. And so, my advice: hold down that R1 button to propel yourself forward. Never let it go. Because if you try to go through this segment manually, without the use of the hydro pack, you are gonna die. And booyah, that is it.
Oh, yeah.
And don't worry about the water electricity or at least the electricity coming back. It may look like it was a close call, but I had like 7 seconds left, and when you come out of the water will automatically become electrified, so you don't have to worry about. So that wasn't a close call. It does that. Most likely just to scare you. Anywho, in terms of the device we got, let's just say that it magnifies these nearby bolts to you. That's actually, it is kind of useful, but it kind of sucks that we don't get this until at this point, very late in the game. But whatever. In this little segment, that in terms of that little robot, at least that big ass robot that we just destroyed with the Devastator. Yeah, those are going to be more apparent later on in this, in the factory portion of this level, as well as Drek's fleet, where it's actually a skill point. Well, there's actually a skill point you can collect. Like the guys over at SGB might have misinterpreted how the skill point is, despite the research. But we're not going to get to it until we get to Drek's fleet. That's not going to be for another... Ooh, let's see. Kalibo 3. Well, probably the level after... Well, the level after we do the factory portion, because we're actually going to be heading to another planet. After we complete this area right here with the big arena up ahead. So, look forward to that. Actually, we're gonna be covering a little bit of the next planet in this part too. So, well, that's good. These guys with the long ass electric beams come back, but now that we have Clank, it's most likely easier to dodge since, well, you have the extended jumps now. Extended jumps, I miss you so much back on planet Ultanis. Really could have used the help up there. Here, just one more thing about planet Ultanis real quick, like, hey, just for that one level you have to learn that, hey, sometimes you'll be pressing R1 or holding down R1 thinking that you'll have the extended jumps, but then you realize that you don't have Clank. So just for that one level you have the mindset that, you know what, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should think of, or maybe it's like, wait a minute, I don't have Clank, so I don't have the extended jumps. It's very hard having to get out of though, especially just for one level. Well, Ultanis as a level, oh, I think it was a tricky level, not gonna lie, but yeah, it was a very tricky level. It was hard, yeah, might be a little unfair in some instances, but that's mostly because of the fact that the lighting in this game is rather dark at times. But it was only that was only one level though, so it's nothing that bad. It was nothing bad at all. Well, I don't really think there's any level that's particularly unfair, to be honest, but Ultanis I do think is probably the most unfair at the level the difficulty can get, is what I'm saying.
Was it pi over infinity, or...
Hey! You need help fixing that thing?
Actually, I'm trying to destroy it.
Why?
I was contracted to re-engineer my enlarging machine to create huge, heavily armed mechs.
So that's where those mechs came from.
Precisely. Had I known Drek was behind this, I never would have done it.
Is there anything we can do?
Well, if you'll volunteer to be enlarged, you may be able to stop those mechs long enough for me to sabotage this machine.
And then you will change me back?
I've never tried that, but in theory, yes.
Oh yeah, that's right, we have another gimmick with Clank. Introducing this. Yes, in terms of the other gameplay styles with Clank, I mean, we already had the other segments with Clank with the Pikmin styles and the Pikmin style gameplay and whatnot, but this is the second type of gameplay you can play as in terms of Clank. We are now playing as Giant Clank. In terms of the controls, you jump with the X button, you punch with the square button, fire missiles with the circle button, and the triangle button launches out this atomic blast. Boom! That's one of the most satisfying attacks you can do in this game. Just letting out a giant atomic blast, killing everything in sight. Unfortunately though, we only get to play as Giant Clank for about, like, say 2 levels. Like, this is the first of the 2, but now we're doing well, this. Well, yeah, this is only the first of the 2. Well, now if you were one to actually stink at Giant Clank, or at least Giant Clank is kind of hard to work with, but if you were one to, like, die a lot, this might be a good place to actually grind some bolts. Bolts, you know? Well, I mean, in doing the stage, like, completing the stage, I think I managed to get the bolt, to get at least over, I think 10,000 bolts in this part. Which, you know, it's gonna help, and it's definitely gonna reduce the time for the bolt grinding. But, well, in terms of the glitch anyway. Although this part can be a little annoying, if only because it's very easy for enemies to drain your health. But, so it's very easy to die in this stage, not gonna lie.
Well done! Now just step into the machine and we'll see what happens.
Nice to have you back, I guess.
I've recalibrated the controls to allow only your specific circuit pattern.
Oh, perfect.
I don't know how to thank you two. Maybe this'll help.
New! From Gadgetron, the makers of weapons and other fine products, comes the Hollow Guys. With the Hollow Guys, you can fool robots into thinking you're one of them. Match your wits against other robots. Work on robotic assembly lines. Attend robot parties. The Hollow Guys. Available only at Gadgetron headquarters for a limited time. Not to be used for illegal purposes. We're only in sanctioned areas. You will not actually become a robot.
If I can get that thing, I'll be able to get past those robot guards.
Robots are not so easily fooled.
Ah, what's that?
What?
Uh-huh.
Admittedly though, again, Ratchet can be a dick, but I've already covered that last part. But yeah, it's very easy to die a lot. At least, it's very easy to die in that segment, if only because enemies are swarming around. Enemies are just swarming around you, shaving off your health constantly. But at the same time, not gonna lie, it can be a good place for you to grind some bolts. Although I kind of don't do it here, just for the sake of keeping things moving. But whatever. Just whatever. So anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, for now we are pretty much done with Planet Core 2. We are going to be coming back here just to get another info bot. But as of now, well, yeah, we're pretty much done. Because we need to get a certain gadget to get into the factory segment, which is also known as the Hollow Guys. And since we got the info bot, we are going to Planet Kalibo 3. Don't ask me why this is Kalibo 3, but whatever. It's nothing to be concerned about. Or at least you shouldn't think too hard on that.
This is starting to become annoying. I'm not sure why I bother with you incompetent idiots. All right, I'll try this one more time. You are my most elite troops. I'm sending you down to the planet's surface to destroy those troublemakers. Now go! Oh, and if you have to destroy Gadgetron to get rid of them, so be it.
This guy's willing to destroy Gadgetron just to kill us? What an asshole. We gotta stop him. But we're not... Oh, trust me, we're gonna stop him later. And he's gonna be... Trust me, we're gonna stop him for the sake of... Well, let's just say that he's more of an asshole than that, really. As already shown. But I digress, ladies and gentlemen. We are on Planet Kalibo 3, aka the Gadgetron planet. Gadgetron headquarters. And I'll say this right off the bat in terms of weapon recommendations. 4 weapons are going to be your best friend. And you're going to need your Devastator, your Visibomb gun, your drone device, and the Walloper. That and give or take the drone device. It's because in this part we are introduced to these elite troop enemies where they they can shoot at a pretty long range. They fly around in jetpacks, and they shoot at least 3 times, I think. And let's just say that they're not an annoying type of enemy. Yeah, unless they're grouped together. But that's why you have the Devastator, which, you know, the Devastator pretty much works as more of an efficient sniping weapon than anything. In this part we have these conveyor belts. Oh crap. Don't want to get too close to these guys though. That one of my drones did hit him at least. That's good. Oh crap. And I didn't hit him, damn. Thankfully, again, the Devastator rockets do have some a bit of homing properties, so you can easily snipe them. Unlike this. And again, if they're grouped like that and you shoot one, they are gonna notice you they are gonna notice you, especially if you're really far away. So when you do shoot one elite troop, I recommend you move to a different position, and just to avoid the bullets. You're better off that way. But we're not going to be heading through the main level yet, but rather we're going through the sub-level first. So we go to the left onto this elevator, and oh god, this rail grinding segment. Okay, similar to Planet Battalia, there's a rail grinding course. Well, let's just say that in this part, there's also another skill point that's very similar to Planet Battalia. You have to go through this whole rail grinding segment without getting hit. This one is a lot more difficult than the one in Planet Battalia, only because at one point you're gonna have to hit these switches. It's just so you can progress as through the course. Not to mention, there's also a gold bolt you need to collect. Actually, so that's one switch. You need to hit these switches. It's just so you can collect the gold bolt. And there goes my skill point, ladies and gentlemen. I am definitely not getting that. Which is weird because I managed to get this skill point on my practice run. And so, god damn it. It's weird. I try to swing the mines, but you know, my timing isn't all that great sometimes. Especially since the mines can be grouped up into like 2 mines, 3 mines, and you have sections like these where you have these monorails, those to avoid. The monorails are very easy to avoid though. You just have to really know where they're coming from. Depth perception can be a bit of an issue. Well, just for the sake of determining on what rail they're on. But other than that, they aren't really that difficult to avoid. You just have to figure out the gap, and you'll have more than enough time. In all honesty, you will have more than enough time to at least dodge them. And booyah, that's our gold bolt. At least one of 2 gold bolts in this stage. The second one is actually gonna be at the end of this course. A little bit at the end of this course though. So here we are, we're almost at the end of this rail grinding segment. Ah, crap! God damn it. You've seen the whole level at this point. Hey, in the next part I'm cutting to the end of the course. I was doing so well too, despite the fact that I didn't get the skill point. So anywho, folks, that is pretty much it for part 19. And the next time we meet in part 20, we are going to be completing the rest of Kalibo 3. I'm GameMan5804. See you all then.